Hey, hey, welcome to the Bitter to Better podcast, Mom Moments. I'm here with my friend Sherie, who can be described as human, woman, mother, pole fitness instructor, licensed professional counselor, and friend. Welcome.
Thank you.
Cheers. All right. So, what's been high? What's been low?
Okay, I guess I'll start with the highs. My daughter is home. She was abroad last semester, so that's a high for me right now. And I'm always like, my life is all about her. I'm obsessed, as you know. So that's a high right now. A low is just, I would say just health wise. I'm always a pretty healthy person, but I've just been having some like issues with food lately. So that's like a low with navigating that and trying to figure out what
What's
I
going
need to
on?
change. Yeah, my diet maybe and things like that. But
Got it. Yeah.
yeah,
No, that's hard when you're trying to like figure out what the issue is and what the concern is and stuff
yeah.
like that. Um, So you mentioned your daughter. She's back from where? Like, what's going on with her?
So she is in her junior year of
Mm.
college. Yes. She was abroad in Australia for this past semester. Um, She is majoring in civil engineering with, I guess, like a sub major in environmental
Oh
engineering.
God.
So she's been doing all the things with, she did some testing with the coral reefs. She got to swim with the
Oh
turtles.
my gosh, I can't believe she went to Australia. I'm so jealous.
She did so much. They were like literally in every part of Australia.
Wow.
So she loved it, and she's happy to be home, of course,
Yeah.
because she missed her mama, like I missed
Yes.
her. And I have her for a few weeks before she goes back to school in Cali.
Yeah. Let me just say, like, the fact that you were not there in Cali living next to her is a big thing because this one was talking about looking for places to live, real estate, and wherever her
Listen,
daughter was gonna go to college. And I was like, ma'am, no, no, no. We're not doing
I
that.
know. I almost applied for a job on her school campus when she got accepted. I looked at the job description and everything, no lie.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Wait, did she know that you were going to, and how did she feel about it? Maybe she
Well,
was
she
excited
didn't
about that.
actually know at
Okay,
first, and then after when my niece actually talked me out of it. Then I
thank
told her
goodness.
about it after, and she was like, "Ma, you're doing too much."
Not you, like her showing up to like a school library, and you're like, "Hey, honey."
Yeah. So,
That is hilarious. But yeah, I mean, how has it been for you being an empty nester and like, yeah, what's that been like?
it's been rough actually. She in her junior year, so her first year was the hardest. A lot of just a lot of feelings of feeling lost, honestly, just because you think about as a parent and with her being an all-star cheerleader, and she did everything. I was always so involved. We were always so busy, busy, busy. It's like all something that stopped.
Yeah.
And then I had all this time for myself, and I'm like, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so used to, cheer practice or dance practice, or, we're going here for a birthday party or an event. And I just didn't know what to do with myself. So the
Yeah.
first year of her being gone was, I guess, my discovery year, you can say, like
Mm-hmm.
finding me and finding kind of like what I really do enjoy and what I want to focus more on. Um, so the second year of her being gone was a lot better. I had did a little bit of dating within that year, since I had more free time to do that, which I started to kind of like the fact, okay, now I could just up and go. And I don't have
Mm-hmm.
to worry about like
Mm-hmm.
my kid having to be somewhere or what my kid is doing. I can just up and go when I feel like it. So that was kind of like
Some freedom there. So that was like the plus side of it.
that was the plus side of it. Still a lot of crying. And then also for her freshman year in college, she was good. Like she didn't cry a lot. I cried more. Her sophomore year, she cried more.
Mm.
And I think that kind of like brought me back now where now I'm like more emotional again because she was having such a hard time her sophomore year.
Yeah.
Um, but then she got through that, and then now she's in her junior year, and I've been great this year.
Yeah.
I've had more of a, okay, she's okay. I don't have to worry about her. I did my first, solo travel this year because that
Yeah.
was something like
Let's
I
talk about
wanted to
that.
do.
Mhm.
And I felt much more comfortable, like not being so attached to her. I guess that's the way I could put it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
How's junior year for her? How's she feeling about it?
she's having a good year.
Good.
She's been loving her junior year. missing her friends since she was abroad and none of her friends were abroad with her. So she's missing her friends that are on campus and she's really anxious, honestly, to go back.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's
And
good.
I'm just like, ugh, you can stay home longer, but
It's all right, honey. You don't have to go back to school. The fact that you say junior year, I really have a hard time. Like, I knew this little girl since she was a little girl. I'm
yes,
like, junior year. I'm like, no, no, she's freshman again, right? Like that's all, as far as I'm concerned. Like she's
like,
not going
you live,
past
you watch her
freshman
grow
year.
up. Yes,
I'm like, first when the idea of college was even happening, I was like, what? Now I've adjusted to the idea of college, but not junior year. She's over half done. Like
I
I
know.
don't.
It went
Mm-mm.
by. It went by quick. Like when I'd be like, oh, junior year, but then like each year felt like forever. But now I'm like, dang, she's in her junior year, and I'm like, it did kind of go by quick.
That is crazy. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like you said, like the empty nester, like it's the missing her, but
Yeah.
then there's also the freedom. So you've been able to delve into things like dating, more travel.
Hmm.
So yeah, your solo trip. Where was it? What was well, I let me start back. Okay, I don't know. It was Thailand
Yes, Thailand.
and it was for like a pole retreat, right?
Yep. So I went to a pole fitness retreat there with the person who ran the retreat. Her name is Phoenix. She's like a pioneer in the pole world. Like she like coined the competition world. And she's just like amazing. And she's like 50 and she's still doing this and she's still amazing.
That's awesome.
So I went to the pole retreat, a lot of anxiety. I cried in the Hong Kong airport.
Oh my goodness. So wait, what was the crying about in the Hong Kong airport? About anxiety about the travel, about the pole
I
situation?
think I was just very overwhelmed, and it was like I'm the person who I don't really like flying, even though I fly a lot and I do it a lot. Short trips are easier for me.
Yeah.
This is like the farthest I've traveled and the longest I've traveled. Um, so I did have some medication to take.
You helped me out with that hack.
Yes.
Yes, because I'm planning to go to Bali and I'm absolutely taking I need and I cannot sleep on flights. So I need
Yes.
something to knock me out.
Yes. So the medication definitely knocked me out from New York to Hong Kong. So that was
May
like,
the same be.
yeah, that was like a 15.5 hour flight
Oh my
for the first
gosh.
half, right? And when I got to Hong Kong, I just was so overwhelmed. And there was actually no signs like in English, like people had told me there would be. So I started to have like a panic attack.
Yeah.
And
What
then I
did you
just
do?
stood there and I like started to cry. And then I was like, girl, collect yourself. You are a goddamn adult. Like, get it together. And then I asked a couple people and they didn't speak English of where I need to go. So then literally I just was like, I'm gonna follow the crowd. The crowd is going this way. Let me just see where this brings me. And then I found a gate and I went to the gate agent and asked them and they kind of pointed me in the right direction. And literally by the time I got to my gate, they were boarding my flight.
Oh my goodness.
That's how long it took me to find where I need to
Oh
be.
my goodness.
The Hong Kong airport is huge. Like I think it has like 7 floors or something
Oh
like that
my
to it.
goodness.
Because I tried to pull up a map and I could not even like follow the map.
Oh my gosh.
It's huge. So if you've ever been to the Hong Kong airport, you know that it's a city in itself.
No. Okay. Yeah,
um,
I would have figured and by yourself.
yeah,
Wow, I'm glad that you made your connect. It was your
it
connecting
was my
flight.
connecting flight. So then from Hong Kong, it was like another 4 hours to Phuket, where I flew into. And that wasn't bad. That was easier flight. Um, Still couldn't find my pickup person when I got to Thailand because it was, you know how like the hagglers are in like New York when you're coming out the airport looking for your ride.
Mhm.
It was like that in Phuket, but 10 times
Worse.
worse.
Oh my
So I
goodness.
was just like trying to pay attention to what
Right.
was around me. It's new. Trying to figure out where I need to be. And then I called, the transportation people, and they were like, oh, telling me where they were. And I still couldn't find
Couldn't
them. So that
find
took
them.
me about 20 minutes to find them. And then I finally did find them. But it was just so many people and so many hagglers. But once I found my transportation, I was fine. Got to my hotel. Forgot the name of the hotel I stayed at, but it was a beautiful hotel.
And I remember seeing your
Yeah.
videos of it. It looked
It
gorgeous.
was it was so nice. And I met 10 strangers and I had a great time with 10 strangers. Who would have known?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so it was
And
really
you were
cool.
doing something you love. It was pole
Yeah.
and Are you so they started out as 10 strangers, do they all remain strangers, or do you, like, communicate with any of them
Yeah.
now,
So
or
two of the girls, we still chat on social media. On my social media break, I'm slowly coming back. So I just got back to Facebook, but not Instagram yet. But like, so me and the two girls, we talked a lot on Instagram. One of them, she actually lives in Philly, I believe, or Pennsylvania somewhere. And like we actually text me and her have texted a few times. She texted me about a convention last year called PolCon, asking if I was coming because she wanted to get together. Um, so yeah, so so she is someone who I think I will still continue to like have a relationship with, and she's into the pole world heavy like I am. The other person I connected with, she's out in Cali. And she's not so much into pole. She likes it, she enjoys it, but she was more of a yoga girl
Got
who dabbles in pole. But both of the ladies I connected with and I had a great time, and that's what I spent most of my time with while I was out there. So
Nice, nice. So question, would you do it again between the pole retreat, the travel to Thailand specifically, and just that type of travel? Would you do
yeah,
any of those
yeah,
again?
yeah.
Yes, 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 and all yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, I definitely want to do another one. Funny thing is, the lady who hosted that one is doing one in 26 in Vietnam, but I didn't do it because it's literally 2 weeks before your wedding. So I was like, oh, priorities.
Thank you, friend.
But if it wasn't, I definitely would have went to Vietnam and did another retreat
Nice.
with her.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, good. Hopefully she continues to do more and you can have
I hope
different
she
places.
does.
Does she live on that part of the world, or like
No, so she is actually based out of LA. That's where
mhm.
she lives, but she travels a lot to do workshops. She's like I said, she's a really big deal in the industry, so she does a lot of workshops worldwide. When she did compete, she doesn't compete anymore. She competed internationally, which is a
Yeah,
level I'll never be at.
that's wild.
But yeah, so she's just very well rounded.
Okay, but speaking of competing in pole, you did just win first place
Me
in a
too.
competition. Tell us more.
So pole sport organization, PSO we call it. I compete with them in our studio, Apex Pole Fitness in Brantford. We compete. So I usually do two competitions a year. This one was in Boston. This is my first place win, so I'm really
Mhm.
proud of myself. So this routine I did, I also did this routine in July, but I had no competition in July, so it was automatic first place. I was first and last. So really nothing to brag about, right? But I felt good about the performance I put on stage. I danced to Cynthia Ebro stand up.
It was amazing. I saw the video. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like after doing it, I was like, you know what, I need to put this routine on stage again because for me, it speaks volumes right now.
Mhm.
And for me, with competing, I've learned that I got to compete to something that speaks to my soul.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't speak to my soul, then I can't put
And
it on stage.
yeah.
So I made some changes to the routine, made a couple edits to like how I was going to present the routine on stage to make it a little bit more powerful for the people to
Mhm.
back.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I went up against like it was only me and one other person in my division, but I went up against a seasoned person in the industry, someone who
Oh.
when I saw I was competing against Judy Blue Eyes is her name on Instagram. I just was like, oh my goodness, like she's so good. I don't know if I
Wow.
could take her out. Like literally, that's what I said. I was like, she's so good. Like I've seen her at competitions. I rooted for her at competition. I was like, I'm actually now up against her. Like, what?
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. So it felt really good to kind of go against someone who I felt was a really great competitor and actually still like take the win overall.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I it's amazing. This one got me into pole many years ago. So this is before my son was born because I found out after like my first either it was right before or after my first pole class with you that I was like 4 months pregnant at the
Yeah,
time.
I
So
think
I
it
have
was
this
right after.
picture of me. I have this picture of me at the pole, not realizing that I was 4 months pregnant. But then I got really into it, got a pole for my house and everything. And I loved it. And then just like had my kids, fell out of it. But like it is like the best fitness I've ever done in my life.
It is.
That I was so much stronger, just my core, my arms, everything. I have dreams of getting back into
Yes, we
it.
want you back. You got
We'll
to get back
see,
into
we'll
it. It is
see.
definitely a full body workout. It definitely is. And it's like pole is my therapy too at the same time. Like whenever I have a crappy day
Yep.
and I go to the studio and I may walk into the studio feeling crappy as well. And then like
By the time you leave.
leave, I feel so much better.
Same with me with hula hooping. That
Yeah.
literally, like, just like yesterday or the day before, I literally like had a whole like emotional breakdown. And I was like, you know what? I need to exercise. I need to put on music. I need to dance. And I just hula hooped for
Yeah.
20 minutes. And I was like, I feel so much better. So
Yes.
yes, that is some real therapy and self-care. It's just some sort of movement that feels good to you. Music,
Yes.
dancing, pole, hula hooping,
Yeah.
any of that. So you've had time to travel, you've also had time to date. What's
hmm
that been like? Where are you with that right now? Where have you been with that over the past like couple of
hmm
years, like when your daughter went off to college?
Yeah. Okay. So for right now, like dating is non-existent. Since she left, when was it? She came home in, I want to say August or September. When she came home for her after her summer break after her summer internship, I kind of like stopped dating at that point because she was home and she was my focus. And then I didn't go back to dating afterwards just because the desire or the need wasn't there. Then I didn't care. But prior to that, I will say dating for me has been fun. I know people have horror stories about dating because I feel like when we've had this conversation, I feel like when people are dating, they're dating for like, I'm looking for my husband, I'm looking for
Mhm,
my wife,
mhm,
or I'm looking
mhm.
for something specific in a partner. And I'm not. Like, I'm dating looking for a connection. And if we have a connection, then like great, let's see if we can move forward. But if there's no connection, then that's fine. Like,
Right. You
thank you
can,
for a nice conversation and I go about my day.
yeah.
And I think that's the difference. Like, I'm not dating to be married. I don't want to be married. I've always felt that way. So I'm dating for like just a lifelong partner. Um,
Right.
and if I find a lifelong partner and if after X amount of years of being together it leads to marriage, great. But like marriage isn't my goal in
Isn't what you're
dating.
aiming for. Mhm.
Um, so I think that's why for me, like I find it fun to
You've been
date.
able to have fun, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't take it to heart like some people do.
Yeah.
But
That mindset piece is a big part of it. I think like knowing what you are going into it for, and that can change and shift over time.
right,
But I do like I say that like and I think like I'm about to do a free webinar about dating as a mom, dating better as a mom. So I'm making like the presentation right now, and one of the things that I realized I needed to start with was the mindset piece, like understanding first of all like what you want your dating
right,
experience to be like, what you're dating for, and knowing, am I looking for flings, am I looking for like a life partner, am I looking to be married, all of that. But even if you know that your end goal is marriage or a committed relationship, there's still that piece before that where you do have to casually date in order to make the best choices. Because I
yeah,
think so many times, and I think many of us have been there, where you end up in a committed relationship before you do the proper like assessment on like, is this a good life partner? Because like one
right,
of the things you're talking about, right, there's a difference between companionship and partnership.
yeah,
And I think that, companionship is you can go out, have a good time with this person, you want to, be with them and around them, you have a buddy to do stuff with, which is very important. But that might not always be the same person that is a good life partner. So
that's true.
once you're looking at partnership, you hope that you have good companionship, but also then there's all these other things that you need to check off. Like, I don't know, like partnership is someone who, for many people, either you're living in the same house together, or if you choose not to live in the same home together, you're still handling a lot of life stuff together.
Right,
So, like, how does that person deal with their money?
right,
Where is their like loyalty? Like, if you are living in the same home, how do they keep a home versus you keep a home? Like, all that stuff
right,
comes into partnership. Companionship, it's like, can we go out and have a good time? Yeah, great. Are we actually trying to like live in the same household or build a life together or raise kids together, whether that's as step parents or any of
right.
that? That's a whole other level. And I do think that people get caught up in that a bit because they'll have a good time with somebody, they'll be a good companion, and then try to like partner with that person,
Yes.
and it could go it could go
It
all
goes
the way.
left.
It goes left without checking into those things. So that's one of the things I'm really trying to like help people like figure out. And both are fine,
Right.
but you just need to know which
Which
is
one?
which so you don't
Exactly.
make the wrong decision.
I agree. I
So
agree. Because I've had people when I like for instance, I went on a date with this guy. I mean, here's my issue with dating too. They always like me more than I like them. And so that's also hard because I don't purposely want to be like mean people and put people down, but I'm also like kind of very direct a lot of times. I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's times where I'm not direct, and I'm just kind of like, I've had the moments where I've just not responded to the text. I'm just like, oh no, I'm done, whatever. We all have done that. I don't like doing that. I don't like admitting that I've done it, but I'm human and I've done it. I've ghosted people. We've all done it,
Mhm.
whether we want to admit it or not. But the guys that always seem to like me more than I like them, those are the ones that tend to like, I feel like beg me for my attention. And
Mm.
I don't like that. And it's a
That's a
huge
turn
turn
off.
off.
Yeah.
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 And I don't, as my cousin Lovely puts it, she goes, I attract golden retriever energy. And and I don't know why that is, but I do. Like, cause I went on a date with this guy and we had good conversation. And then in the middle of the date, while we're talking, I said to him, I was like, oh, I like talking to you. Like, I'm happy we came out, but I already know like there's not going to be a second date. This isn't going to go anywhere. I said, I can offer you nothing more than a friendship. And he still proceeded during the date to kind of like try to convince me otherwise.
No.
Like, I'm not an animal person. And that pretty much was the deal breaker for me.
I love when you're like, I'm not an animal person. No, she is like the opposite. Like she's, I don't would say anti, but like the dogs are like a deal breaker for you. I remember when there was a guy who you got in a relationship with, you were trying to make it work with the dog.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Right. So when people say, "Oh, that's something that can be worked on," I tell them no because I tried to work on it with a relationship and it went left. No.
Nope.
Yeah. So this guy, he brought up his dog. He didn't have on his profile that he had pets or anything. So I had no, preconceived
Right.
information that he had any pets. He then like mentions to me that he has a dog, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, tell me about like what's that like in your house? Does your dog sleep in your bed? Does your dog on the furniture? Like, what kind of dog parent are you?
Mm-hmm.
And he proceeds to tell me the dog sleeps in the bed with him, and that was the first hell to the motherfucking no. So he goes on, and that's where I stopped him. I was like, look, this is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And then he's like, well, I just got my dog. My dog's a puppy. I could retrain him to not be in the bed.
Not him about to retrain his puppy over somebody who he just went on a first date with. Like, that's your life. That's your life. And find the woman who wants that. And
right.
Wow.
Exactly. So I told him that's exactly what I told him pretty much. And he's like, oh no, I think we could, I enjoy talking to you. I think you're dope. Like, I think we can make this work somehow. And I'm like, nah, let's just finish up. Let's finish up the date. Let's finish up the night and we can wrap it up.
No.
And then like another thing that turned me off with him is I don't like to share. Like I'm not gonna be eating food and you're gonna put something in the food that I'm eating and eat it as well. Like we're not doing that. I don't even freaking know you.
Oh. Wait, I'm sorry. Wait. Don't tell me. Wait, this is your first date.
It's our first
What
date.
did he do?
So I ordered a tiramisu, whatever, right? And he was like, "Oh, when it came, it was bigger, like much bigger than what like I would have ate it all." He was like, "Oh, you want to split it?" I'm like, "Yeah." So then, like, I thought like he was gonna cut a piece off
and
take
his
take his
piece.
piece.
Yeah.
No.
Oh
He
no.
dug his fork in it, ate it in front of me, then dug his fork.
Oh, sir. We don't know each other like first date.
First date.
Ew.
I was like, oh no, this is not.
So yeah, the appropriate thing to do. We don't know each other. We are still strangers.
Right.
You take your piece and put it on your plate. Don't be double dipping. Like, so one thing that I absolutely hate. People like some of my friends used to laugh at me about this. Like it was a thing, like immediate no from a guy if he tried to feed me like over the table. Especially when I don't like first, second date.
Yeah.
And I know there were like guys who thought it was romantic. And I'm like, I want to take this fork and literally stab it through your hand. I am not a child. Do not feed me. That is so ick to me. And I can see like if you're in a relationship and that's your thing, less so. But like I don't know you. First, second date. Here, I don't
like what are you doing, sir?
Oh yeah, that would be an immediate time. Like, sir, no, you did not just put your fork back in this shared dish. I'm done. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so it was like the date just went downhill once I told him I was no longer interested. And he like was one of those people where he couldn't keep his mouth shut, so he kept making it worse for himself. Like he started sharing some stories that he should have never shared with me. And I told him straight up, one of the stories he shared me, I was like, don't ever tell that story to anyone else again.
Was this his first date?
First date.
Ever? I mean, like, because what? He's doing all the wrong
What?
things.
And then still tried to kiss me at the end of the night. And I don't kiss on the first date, like,
Yeah.
ever. I have. But the times I've kissed on the first date, I can count on one hand. And it's been people who were I either ended up in relationships with, or I thought like it was really gonna go somewhere, right? Because we had such a great chemistry and connection
Right.
between us. And so even after all that, and even after I told him like it wasn't going nowhere, he tried to kiss me, and gave him the cheek, pushed away. Sorry. And just so happens to be his car was parked right next to mine, and I got to the restaurant before him, so I didn't know what he was driving.
Right.
Fuck, like he parked right next to my goddamn car.
That'd be awkward. All right, bye.
Yeah, I was like, bye. And he was like, oh, you got a little Honda. Okay, it's a crappy car. Like, dude, you're a little
It's weird and
yeah,
awkward.
right. So then he tried to like, I guess, throw an insult about me. First of all, I got a new Honda. Okay, it's only 3 years old.
Oh,
So and you have
sir.
a beat up pickup truck. So stop.
Sir, you over here double dipping in people's tiramisu. Like,
Exactly.
ew.
And then like the worst part of it, and then this is where I had to block him, is later that night, he sends me a text and he's like, and it's a picture of him in the bed with his dog. And he's like, isn't whatever, I don't
Whatever
know
the
what
dog's
the dog's name was, let's just call the dog Blue. Isn't Blue so cute? No.
So he didn't get the message at all.
Yeah. So he was, very like desperate, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what his deal was.
It was giving desperate.
Yeah.
It very much. It's like it's a refusal to hear no,
Yeah.
thank you, and just the insist like that. That stuff is so frustrating. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are the type of things that, understandably, women are concerned about, because it's like, sir, I try to let you down easy and be respectful, and you just will not take it. And he just kept going.
Yeah, he just kept going, which is why sometimes I have to just ghosted people, because I'm like, I've had people where I actually nicely tell them no, and then they just come back with aggression or
That part.
some BS. Because I've had guys come back with aggression as well.
Yeah, the aggressiveness.
And like, no, like, sorry. Like, and I think too, like, I don't need a man. I really don't. Um, like I said, I want a partnership. I want a partnership. I don't need a partnership. Like, I feel like I'm where I'm at in life. Like, I worked hard to get to where I'm at in life. I was a single mom since I pushed my kid out. I never had help from the other side. And I like literally done everything on my own, from raising her to, doing my best to make sure she had great experiences like sleepaway camp and doing all-star cheer, buying my condo, and my kid is in an Ivy League school. So like, not to toot my own horn, but at the end of the day, I just feel like I've done so much and accomplished so much on my own. Like, if you're not adding value to my life, bye. I can't.
Yeah, that part.
I can't do it.
I know. I came to that conclusion. After after my previous relationship ended, after having kids, all of that, like, I became more and more wed to this idea of, if you're not adding value, elevating, making this whole situation feel better, then I'm not interested in taking you on. As the guy should feel about me too. But like,
Right.
definitely when I was younger, I was more willing to take on burdens and projects and work. Like, I've been doing a lot of work on myself and with my kids, and I don't need a grown person to be doing work on. I'm here to support. We can support each other, but I'm not tinkering. I'm not a mechanic. We're not doing that.
Exactly. Like, what can we do together? Like, like I said, I want to travel. Let's travel together. Great. You want to travel too? Like, let's do it together. Let's build on that. Like, you got a business going, right? And maybe you will just want like the person you're with to kind of help support your business. Like, okay, what do you want me to learn so I can help support you in your business? Like, things like that. Or maybe you want to try and start a business. Okay, let me see what your business is that you're trying to start. Let me see if there's anything that I can help you do to get started. Like, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Like, but you're good on your own, right? You're established. You have everything you need. You know what you're doing in life.
Right. You can take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
And we can support one another.
Right. Yeah. And in that journey to whatever the end goal is going to be.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to build a man. I'm not going to build a man. Not doing it.
The thing is that also that starts to take away like the romance and joy of the relationship when you feel, because you can easily fall into what ends up being like a parenting dynamic. And speaking of, like, we're both in the mental health field. we're both therapists. And so you're a licensed professional counselor. I'm a marriage and family therapist. So you get this, like, with that dynamic that can be created where like one partner feels like they're doing more of the
Yeah.
caring of the other partner. And it becomes almost like a parent child taking care of. And like
Yeah.
I tell clients all the time, I'm like, it's not sexy to like
Right.
to feel like you're parenting someone. That's a whole different job.
Right.
And so yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want that.
It is. Not to get off topic, but same topic. Did you watch Love is Blind in the
The latest one, I
Okay.
watched a few episodes of, or about half a season of the very first, or yeah, of the very
Okay.
first
Because
season.
they had the girl who was a social worker on it,
Oh.
and she went to the altar with this dude. But the whole time I watched the show, I was like, she's working. And she literally was working the whole season. And
Mm.
it was like exhausting watching her
Oh my gosh.
working.
Yeah, and that's something that we have to be careful of when we're in like the mental health field.
Yeah.
And like I in hindsight realized in one of my past relationships that I was working. And I thought I wasn't because I was kind of trying to be very hands off, but then I
Yeah.
then realized I'm like, oh no, it was here and here and here. And yeah, we got to be careful of that because it's so easy to default into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it can come in subtle ways. So what I mean is like I always had this rule that I'm like I don't therapize my friends and family unless they ask for it.
Right.
So it was never that I was doing any direct stuff of like, oh, you know what you should do, or maybe tell me what. I wasn't doing none of that. But on the other side, I was also being very, very, I think, empathetic and like treating like my past partner now I realize I would a client, which is like
Right.
very much taking on and listening to and hearing their
Yeah.
side and their perspective and their needs. But in a relationship, you're wanting a partnership. You're
Right.
not wanting to care for someone.
Right.
Again, you're wanting them to meet you and you guys mutually support each
Right.
other. And that is, yeah, that's a very specific dynamic.
Yeah,
But
it is. I agree. And I think that's why, like, when I do a lot of first dates, I do feel like sometimes the men
mhm,
overshare with me on a first date. And I think that's because the way I present, like, I do present off as easygoing
yeah.
and like they could just talk to me. And I am for the most part, I'm the person where I'm easygoing, I'm cool, I'm calm, collected until I'm not. It's just that simple. Um, so, and I understand that about my personality because guys like to say, "Oh, you're so sweet," and I always tell them I'm not sweet. Like I'm
Mm,
nice
mm,
and understanding, but
mhm,
I'm not sweet
mhm.
because the minute you cross the line, you're gonna know. And sweet people, when you cross the line with them, they're
Right. They're
still
just like,
sweet. They're like,
yeah,
"Yeah, it's okay," and I'm gonna tell you, "No,
it's
it's
not
not
okay.
okay."
Not at all.
And not at all. So that's like the thing though that I think turns me off the most with dating is oversharing on the first date. First date I feel like should always just be light and easy going. Like I should be getting to know your personality
Yeah.
and what you like to do and
Hmm.
kind of how you are when you
Right.
are happy.
Not your deepest, darkest secret.
Right. I don't need to know that you got a DUI because I've had that happen too.
The trauma history is coming out on the first date. I don't think I want it.
Right. I don't need to know those things.
Yeah,
Like, let
yeah.
me figure out if I like you first before you start telling me like what's in your closet.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Because if I already like you, then I'll be okay with what's in your closet.
Yeah, you'll be more prepared to hold that. Yeah,
Right. But
100%,
when I'm trying to
100%.
get to know you and see who you are, tell me what's in your closet the first date. I'm like, that's too heavy for me. I don't want that. Like, sorry.
Yeah, no, the number of times that like if I'm in like I can hop in an Uber, I can be in an Uber, I can be at a party, I can be whatever. That sometimes I'm like, do I want to share what I do? And oftentimes I don't,
Yeah.
but I might be with somebody who's like, oh yeah, and she's a therapist,
Yeah.
and then here we go. I'm like, oh no, I'm drinking. I can't be held responsible for anything I say or do right now. I'm drinking, so I don't know. I don't know. What do you
Right.
think you should do? Because
Exactly.
the things that like people, like I've had people like, yeah, I could be in an Uber and like somebody would be like, so, oh, you're therapist, so then my girlfriend X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, well, thank you for sharing.
Right.
You should go see a therapist about that. All right, that was part 1 of Mom Moments with Sherie. So listen and watch on Wednesday for part 2.